Good morning, folks. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's doing all right. After the confusing day yesterday, confusing for some, but as traders, what you try to do is basically go with the flow. So the first thing on the docket is what happened to crude yesterday. We were initially expecting 430,000 increase in production from barrels per day from OPEC Plus decision, but instead we had they came out saying 648 there and thereabout. So that's a lot of difference. It's a lot more barrels, but then we saw crude just go bid up like crazy. This was price action yesterday. So why did this happen? Number one is day before they said Saudi was going to increase production capacity to basically cover the shortfall if Russia gets sanctioned. So that's about 1 million barrels of crude off the market if Russia does get like properly sanctioned. So on the basically the energy embargo. So 600 minus 648 minus 430,000, that is not even close to 1 million barrels a day. That's number one. Number two is the fact that we're going to driving season in the US, but and people need gasoline now, and we have a severe lack of refining capacity. So even if you put like 2 million barrels of crude on the market today, it's not going to matter because there's not enough refining going around to basically supply that gasoline. Uh, so in the end, it is a tight supply market, and that is not going to change anytime soon. And the bigger part in this is the fact that it is a tight supply market, and they are not going to be able, they are not trying to basically meet the 1 million hole that Russia will leave if the Russian energy embargo goes through. So, which is why we saw this nestling nicely above 116 handle over here, just sinks resistance, June resistance over here, just double top in June, just turning back around. Um, What's next? So we have NFP today, NFP Friday, big NFP, because we are still hanging on every single thing the Fed says, as in Fed guidance. We need to know, we need to hear or see. The Fed cares about this data, right? Unemployment data is a big deal for the Fed, and how this number comes through today will basically address to markets to traders on how the Fed might potentially proceed. If this number is super bad, there is no way they can continue hiking. That they might. There's a higher chance they might not continue hiking post the what do you call this the once they get to neutral rate, so by year end. um, but if this number is really really great, so it can be taken both ways. So basically this tells you about the health of the economy, expecting less basically 100,000 less jobs added onto the market uh, this month compared to last month. So last month we had 428,000 jobs created. So we were only expecting 325,000 jobs created for this month. So this is the headline number over here, non-farm payrolls. Um, and we have Brainerd speaking after that. So this is usually the basically the course of events. You have the NFP, and then you have a Fed speaker that speaks later to pretty much address how the Fed might be looking at this data and how they are going to proceed. Uh, I wouldn't want to go if you've never traded the NFP. I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty tricky one unless we get a blowout number on either side, um, and how that might look like. So if the economy's doing well, it's in line, or numbers go further, then the Fed has more room to continue their hawkish stance. You'll see this dollar just shoot through the roof, I reckon. We're still holding above this trend channel, but trading below 102s, right? just a bit of resistance over here. So we might potentially, if we can just, if the number comes on positive, right? We maybe like instead of minus 100,000, we might actually get plus 100,000 than the prior month, and it just goes above 103. Definitely. So with the Fed being super hawkish, I I can't really say what's going to happen to equities. I know, and the thing is, if you say okay, if the dollar goes up, then equities will get hit. But the thing is that we've seen a lot of selling, right? And it's a Friday, so a lot of nuance goes into this. Be mindful. Keep your wrist tight and have a good session ahead. If you have any questions, just hit the comments. This is Reed at Duncan Capital bringing you today's daily briefing. Cheers.